So my sister just graduated high school, and for some reason we were talking about math the other day, and she asked me, why isn't 2 to the 0 0? And intuitively that makes sense to a lot of people when they're first learning the concept, and I don't think that most teachers really put this into a perspective that can make sense for everybody in one go. So I'm just going to say, let's take a step back and just look at a basic pattern, and we'll build up to explaining why anything to the 0th power is 1. So here we have 1, 2, 4. Can you guess what's going to be next? 8. Can you guess what would be after that? 16. Shouldn't be very difficult there. We're just seeing that we're doubling it. Now let's flip it around and go the other direction. We have the pattern 4, 2, 1. What is going to be over to the left? Still going to be 8. Now as we continue to the right, what's that going to be? 1/2. And then after that, 1/4. So let's up the ante a little. Just working with fractions here, we have the pattern 1/8, 1/4, 1/2. What's going to be the next to the right? Don't be too confused. It's okay to express 1 as 1/1. And then after that, well, it's okay to use fractions in a fraction as well. So what we end up with, our pattern is 1/8, 1/4, 1/2, 1/1, 1/1/2, which is equal to 2, 1/1/4, which is equal to 4, 1/1/8, again, that simplifies to 8. So if you now look at the powers that we're dealing with, for 1/8 is 1 over 2 to the 3rd. Over here on the right, 1/1/8 simplifies to 2 to the 3rd over 1. Okay, because 1/1/8 is actually 8, 2 to the 3rd is actually 8. Now, as for what's in the middle here, we've got 1, 2 to the 0th, and 1/1. So if you're looking at this pattern, 8, 4, 2, 1, 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, that makes perfect sense, since those are represented as 2 to the 3rd, the 2nd, the 1st, the 0th, the negative 1st, the negative 2nd, the negative 3rd. And this is where I think a lot of teachers make mistakes, is they stop at 2 to the 0th, and they don't continue on to 2 to the negative 1st, because that, as soon as you go this way, the connection makes sense. It makes sense why something to the 0th power would be 1. Now, we've been talking about 2 to the 0th, and pretty easily you can go with, if you're looking at 3 to the 0th, you get the same thing. It's 1 there, it would be 3 here, and then 9, and then 37. Likewise, you would be getting, 27 over here, sorry, not 37, and then you'd be getting 1/3, 1/9, 1/27. So no big surprises. However, 0 to the 0 is a little confusing, because as you start on the one side where you have 1 over 0, you have infinity. Where you have 1 over 0 times 0, you have infinity, or undefined would perhaps be the better way to express it. And then so you don't really have different levels. Like, this is not a pattern that you can easily deduce why it works. My conjecture is that the one that's on top here and the one that's on bottom here just kind of meet in the middle and become 1/1. I don't really have a better explanation for it other than that. So I'd say that it's 1 for consistency. Also, there's other powers, like, for example, fractional powers, where it just makes sense for that 0th power to always be 1, even if it's 0. I'd say between infinity and 0, a nice number smack dab in the middle is 1. I hope that was useful for you, and that it answered the all-important question of why is 1 the answer to all of these things to the 0th power. Sorry if you're expecting any theorems or proofs or whatever. I'm not so good at that, but I just wanted to explain it in a way that was logical in terms of patterns. Just so you know, what I used to create these things were actually images. Right here, for example, this is an image, not text. What I used to create that was codecogs.com, and then it's in a format called LaTeX, and the LaTeX that I used for those images is here.